Gemini, I hope you're doing fantastic. Is the Magician. All right, so basically you have the tools to manifest and get what you want. Okay, you have the directional pull or push or magnetism or whatever you want to call it to get what you want or to go where you want. Because the Magician is somebody who is overly capable, has, knows where they want to go, but is for some reason not actually putting the plans into motion or plans into action. So this is a different scale for you guys, Gemini. This is major priority shifts, major changes in how you're viewing love, career, family, etc. All right. The first card coming into the month is the Devil card. Now, this could just be representing Capricorn because this is Capricorn's card, so you could be dealing with a Cap or have Capricorn placements in your chart. The Devil card, though, is a toxic energy. This is somebody who could be dealing with substance abuse. It could be somebody who's dealing with jealousy, narcissism, control issues, all of the above. Now, the Devil doesn't necessarily have to be something terrible, but this definitely says, Gemini, this is where the changes are coming. This is, or maybe that's what's blocking that Magician to a certain extent, is the Devil card, because something's standing in your way. For that popping up, it's saying, Gemini, you know where you're going, you know what you want to do. You are excited and happy about it. But again, it's important to remember that you're in control of how you move forward. And I really do think that's what's blocking this Magician. And you may be like, oh, yeah, shit, like this ex came and has been bugging me and I can't make, they pop back in. I haven't talked to him in 6 months. And now, so this is basically freeing energy. And you may be like, well, it's sitting right here, but there's something very freeing they're telling me. Like this is an energy that you've already known you're either going to stay away from, not get back together with. But again, this is take action. Don't let it take hostage of you. Okay, move forward with love and plans and action in your life. So the next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month, and you have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is divine timing. It's destiny. So this is all very, like in these 3 cards right now, there's a very deep rooted story here, because the Wheel of Fortune, like I said, everything is happening now for a reason, Gemini. And the gut instinct or the third eye or the empath, like if you're an empath or whatever you're feeling, you're really going to go with your gut. There are going to be some major things coming your way, because the Wheel of Fortune is you saying, not today, or changing things up. I know where my destiny lays. Again, this is some sort of major changes. A lot of times this is unplanned, meaning maybe you want to go in one direction, but the universe is going to take you around here to get to the direction that you that you want to end at, if that makes sense. It's interesting because they're kind of spouting all over, and it's making me like cut off because and it's a very exciting energy. I know that sounds weird because I'm kind of like but they're spilling so many things at me, like you're going to be able to enjoy the ride, and just keep in mind that the universe has your back and there's a plan here. So Gemini, good things are coming. Make sure you're releasing the correct energy, you're releasing the correct toxicity with that Devil card. The next card you have is your distant past, or the past 5-10 years. Anything could be throughout your childhood, but you have the 4 of Wands here. So this is saying, this is what you wanted, this is what you wanted, this is what you wanted. Why hasn't it happened? Or why is it not happening? Because the plans haven't changed. Things haven't deviated. You've been allowing somebody to overstay their welcome. Somebody's been able to take up too much of your space and time, and now you're realizing you spent way too much time on something that isn't working. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody. For some of you, you do want to get back together with somebody from the past, and maybe now's the time. It's like now or never. But for a lot of you, this is finally letting go. This is finally clearing the path towards what you actually want, because the 4 of Wands popping up in the distant past, this is saying over and over, you've wanted a happy home, moving in together, marriage, adopting fur babies, kids, whatever it is that you've wanted. And Gemini, it's staring you in the face from the past. So this is coming up saying, what do you want? Go for what you want. You know what you want. And right now, it's not with a past person, it doesn't feel like, because this feels like it's coming up as the past, the Devil card, which is, again, something that, and it doesn't mean this person's toxic. Cross watchers, this can be reversed. It doesn't mean that this person's hellacious. For some of you, they are. But this just means together, as a unit, that's not where you see yourself going with the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune card. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past few weeks, past month or two, you have the Four of Swords. Plain and simple, rest, recuperation, relaxation. You have made a conscious effort to not deal with the drama, or you are trying your best not to deal with this drama right here. The Four of Swords is saying you've taken time off the past couple of months. You're still continuing to take some time off. This is understanding where you need to be mentally, physically, emotionally to get where you want to be in your love life, whatever that is for you, whether you want to be single for the next 20 years, whether you want to bunker down and get married in the next 3 months, whatever it is for you, this is taking the time for yourself to heal and recuperate from anything that has just been like tearing at your soul. This is really rough, Gemini. For some of you, this has been just, and you know, it's not that it's not rough for everybody, but this is just for some of you, it has been a gut-wrenching decision you've needed to make for a long, long time, and now you may actually stick with it. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, I wondered if this was going to be a little bit of what's coming. You have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is kind of a fence or having a wall up, okay? This is a guarded, this is a defense, okay? The Seven of Wands talks about strategy, getting your priorities in place. Somebody doesn't like it, or some people don't like it. Some people are like, well, maybe you should stick in this marriage because that's what we do for our kids, or maybe you should whatever, whatever, whatever. I feel like for some of you, you're getting it in different spades from different people who are kind of trying to direct where you should be going or what you should be doing. And you're just not going to do that, Gemini. You're at this point where you've made peace with yourself, with where you need to go, what you need to do, and therefore you may find yourself in the future having to defend your actions, or this past person who comes back and comes back and comes back and says, Gemini, we can do this, we can do this. And you're saying, we've done this, done this, done this. It's never gotten here, and this is where I've wanted to be for a long, long time. So obviously this isn't the place where we're both going to be happy. For a lot of you, it's the complacency. This person's complacent in the relationship. You may have gotten complacent, and now you're realizing, I can't do this for the next 10 years. The next card you have is your immediate future. So throughout the month, you have the Two of Pentacles. This is very good. This is moving towards some sort of center balance. The Two of Pentacles is about priorities, and it's also about balancing things and making sure that you're taking care of you first, and taking care of your kids first, and taking care of what's going to make your life and the people you love and surrounding you happy. The Two of Pentacles is finally putting yourself first, Gemini, and that's really hard for somebody out there to understand your need to do that, to understand why it's not working with them. This is very important that you, continue on that path if that's what you want. Both of these cards represent priorities, and it's as if you're finally getting them to a point of happiness for you and not having to prove to anybody else, or not putting somebody else's needs ahead of yours on a regular basis. You know, obviously other than kids or pets or whatever, but in love in general, realizing that you should get just as much as you give in a relationship. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month, and you have the Six of Pentacles. This is what I'm talking about. The Six of Pentacles is a generous energy, but it's very charitable, okay? The Six of Pentacles is saying, well, you know, I mean, you're right. We did have a lot of fun time. We did laugh a lot. We did, okay, that's all fine and dandy. But if you feel like you're getting back together with somebody because you feel sorry for them, or because they feel sorry for you, or because, again, that complacency aspect, well, you know, I mean, there were a lot of good. There's a tipping point here where you realize at some point in the recent past that this isn't working, and now you have the ability to move forward, but you have something blocking you right now. The next card you have is how you're feeling. See, and here's the thing. You have the Five of Swords, and this is how you're going to feel throughout the month, on and off. Could last a day, could last a week, could last 30 seconds. But the Five of Swords is a fear of victory, okay? The Five of Swords is a defeat, a dishonor. The biggest fear here is we do this round and round and round. We get back on this, circle jerk, and we end up in the same spot. Nothing's changing. Now the universe is willing you to make the changes you need to make. And you're concerned about, not everybody, but a lot of you are concerned about, but what if, if I don't give this another chance, maybe I'm losing the love of my life. But if I do give this another chance, it's all a facade. Is it ever truly going to get to the point where we said it would be, which is this, the Four of Wands? And for a lot of you, you've been battling this for years and years and years, and it's never gotten where you thought it would go. The next card you have is your hopes and fears, the outcome. So it's interesting. You put a lot of thought into this, and you're trying to do this without too much emotion, because a lot of times this person pulls at your heartstrings. You're, easy to cave because, but I do love them, and that should conquer all. Love conquers all. This is assessing a situation. The Seven of Pentacles is looking at something almost like writing pros and cons on a piece of paper and saying, here's the pros, here's the cons. And really looking at it without going, okay, yes, I love this person. Let's throw that out the window. There's no denying I love this person. There's no denying they love me. What we need to figure out is if we can come together and not have a toxic relationship. And for a lot of you, you know that you've done this so many times. They just keep showing me somebody like on a carousel going round and round and round and round, and finally deciding to jump off and go on a different round and round, which is heading towards a happier, healthier future. The next card you have is your outcome, and you have the Queen of Cups. See, and this person's having kind of thrown a bit of a hissy fit right now because they want to know what you're up to. They want to know, where's Gemini? What's Gemini up to? Am I going to hear from Gemini soon? It's interesting because the Queen of Cups is somebody who's very, I always say mum's the word. This person's not posting their whole life on social media. They're not posting how happy they are without somebody else. They're saying, I am keeping very to myself. That's why this person's feeling a bit jagged and maybe pushing a bit more. And maybe they're getting more toxic, Gemini, with you by the second because you're not giving out the information. The Queen of Cups is, again, a very blessed energy, very nice energy. Again, I'm not knowing. The Queen of Cups is very mysterious and somebody who's, when it's time, when I need to make a decision, when I need to point out what I'm up to, or when I need to get in contact with you, I will. It's almost as if, testing out my life without this energy in it. But man, they're pushing at that door pretty hard. I'm not going to lie, because this person, I could just feel like their anxiety built up where they're going, Gemini, come on, like what are we doing? And the Queen of Cups doesn't rush, doesn't act hastily. This is quieting your mind and being at peace. And this is something that you're trying to practice. The King of Swords is somebody who's trying to figure out the answers. The King of Swords is somebody who wants the truth. They want to find the justice in the situation. The King of Swords is somebody who says, but I need to know this, this, and this. I want to know, where are we going? What's going on? The King of Swords is somebody who's taking charge of their domain. And look, Gemini, that's what you're doing. You guys are saying, hey, I'm in control of my life right now. And at this moment, whatever you bring to the table isn't working, because this person is being pushed off or has been pushed off, and they're really trying to close back in that gap. But you have the Four of Cups here, and the Four of Cups is a feeling of taken for granted, feeling like you've wasted your time on something. And really, Gemini, at the end of the day, that's what this is coming down to. You've put so much time and energy into this relationship that it's not succeeding for you in the way you want. So go get what you want. And you may be like, easier said than done, but I'm telling you, there's your future clarification cards are the Tower moment and the Ten of Swords. Okay, the Ten of Swords is an ending. This is a tragedy. This is a loss. And I'm not talking about tragic lives ending, or anything like that. I'm talking about a final conclusion. Okay, this is a final conclusion of something that isn't working. And Gemini, you are being guilted. Like, the guilt trip is big. Like, the guilt trip here is very imposing. And you need to make some decisions, because it's like, again, this magician is smiling at you saying, hey, boo, you got everything you need to make your life happy and healthy and successful. And you do. And this is what you've wanted for a long time. So what are you doing? Because then you have the Tower card here. which is dissolution, a crashing down, a burning. Now, it's not terrible. This is where the foundation is left. And yes, it could be a foundation with this past person, but these cards are literally talking about the ending of a story, the beginning of a new story, something that is going to be more magical, more just, there's something laying ahead here for you, Gemini. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Something laying ahead here for you with this Wheel of Fortune, that if this ending doesn't happen and this breakdown doesn't happen and this final, you know, kabam doesn't happen, basically saying, yeah, isn't that it? That says it all. This final kabam, it's okay. You may be hurt because you're finally letting go. They may be hurt. In fact, this person, like I said, is already extremely, like, that guilt trip is going to come to you tenfold. But you're left with a solid foundation. And frankly, I feel like you've had a solid foundation this whole time, and that's what you've been trying to rebuild. But you're either rebuilding with the wrong person, the intentions that they're giving are not accurate. In the end, though, you have this Jaguar saying, release. So, all right, Gemini, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.